Welcome to this panel as part of the Neurodivergent Publishing Conference. Let's see. So this panel is called Starting a YouTube or TikTok Channel If You Are Camera Shy. We thought we would also have some basic information on getting them started. Let's see. So let me just look at some notes here.
Do you want us to introduce ourselves?
But before we get into everything, let's introduce ourselves. Thank you very much for the prompt. My name is Heather Dewey Pettet, and I am a writer, editor, and artist. And let's see. So I have been doing all of that. I have been working with words for approximately 25 years. So as a writer, I am currently focused on fiction. And I am writing a novel, a women's fantasy novel, and let's see. And I also have some short stories in the works, and let's see. As an editor, I'm a freelance line editor, copy editor, and proofreader, and sensitivity reader. And as an artist, I have done a variety of things, but in recent years, my focus is mostly on using wet media like watercolor and gouache, and also inks and stamps, and I have an Etsy shop. So, next. Oh, I forgot something. Real quick, sorry. What ties all those things together is my love of fantasy and science fiction. Okay, next.
Who would like to talk next?
Do you want to go, Alice?
No.
Maggie can.
I'm Maggie Ward, independent author, traditionally published author, and stroke survivor. I actually stopped writing after college after having a very, very, very discouraging English class. And I did not stop writing again for nearly 35 years. I had a stroke. I lost the ability to use language. And then I started writing creatively to recover language. And now I have 25 books and anthologies published. And I'm here to say that if Stroke Brain Mama can become a writer and have a YouTube channel, you can too.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Okay. We didn't figure out who was going when.
Yeah.
Couldn't say. Go ahead and pass. Who's next, Mama Maggie? Because so finger point tells nothing, I think, if we're all in different order.
That doesn't help either. Okay.
Hey, Shannon.
Okay.
Let's go.
Let's do the salesman thing. And today,
And
Alice.
we have these beautiful options over here. Yes. All right. I am E, or Ellis. I am an editor. I've been doing it for about 15 years. I specialize in speculative fiction. I work in other fiction. That's my cat, who's probably going to scream, because that is what he does. I am also an author. I write urban fantasy, and I have a bunch of anthology pieces published. My first novel came out 2 years ago. I released my most recent book in January, and I have a TikTok channel. I don't have a huge number of followers. I'm at 2,600 right now. Feline chaos, I apologize. And hopefully that doesn't turn into an argument over here. Sultan. Sorry. Somebody else introduce themselves quick.
Did you want to go, Shane?
No, go ahead.
I'm Jenna O'Malley. I'm your soul writer, author of sci-fi, fantasy with dashes of romance and nerdy references. I'm only rushing through because I'm also having feline chaos in another room right quick. I do the YouTubes despite the fact that I have post-traumatic stress disorder, bipolar 1, and also socialized anxiety disorders. So if somebody who's petrified to look at their own face can do it, you're welcome to try, is what I tell people. And I also am a writing coach, and during the daytime, I teach English grades 6 through 12 and creative writing for a school based out of Michigan.
Awesome.
Did you want to finish up, Ellis?
I don't really have a whole lot else. Just feline chaos, honestly, is most of my introduction. Like, I think that's pretty much everything people need to know about me.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Shannon. I write under the pen name of SD Houston, and I have a YouTube channel under the pen name of SD Houston as well. And I've never been diagnosed, although my doctor says I'm probably ADHD. I know I have a ton of anxieties, taking anxiety medication, and one of them is time anxiety. So, which we talked about a little bit yesterday. But I also run a podcast, Self-Publishing Tips and Tricks, where one of my co-hosts is also neurodivergent, and we've been pretty successful in, getting the show going and getting tons of great authors on there. We've had Mama Maggie on there before. So yes. So, we work really hard to integrate in our community and, try to bring our community together. And I think YouTube is a really great place. We're going to be talking about that and TikTok, although I don't know about TikTok too much, but we're going to talk about YouTube today. And it's a great community there for writers to get together and meet each other. And I would, tell all you guys, come check it out. And we also have the AuthorTube Writing Conference, where a bunch of people get together and put together a conference there on YouTube, and you can just attend as well and get to meet the community. So,
Excellent.
Excellent conference. So, and then I want to cough.
Of course, yes.
Pardon me. Okay, and then I neglected to mention that I was okay. Number one, I'm a stutterer. Number two, so if I say a lot, it's because I'm trying to collect myself and to not stutter. So yeah. So that's one of my things. Another thing is that I was diagnosed with ADHD in 2002. So it's been more than 20 years. And I probably have some other things going on. I might also be on the autism spectrum, but I'm not quite sure of that. I'm looking into that. And what made me look into that was the fact that I have a son who has multiple disabilities, but mostly he's on the autism spectrum. And so that's where because of my research, I think I might also be on the spectrum as well. So
I think the same way.
There's some other things going on, but anyway, I don't want to get into all that.
I think the same way. I have a son who's also autistic, and having him going and ADHD and him going through all the tests, I was like, I think I fall in this.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So that tends to happen.
My daughter is autistic, and I don't think of myself. I don't think I am autistic. But I know that I do have obsessive compulsive disorder, and I'm diagnosed as a slow cycle bipolar. And like one of the things that they were talking about yesterday was how people they can't focus to finish something. Well, mine kind of tips the opposite way, and I cannot stop until I finish something. And it's, the joke about doesn't eat, doesn't sleep, has to finish that's me.
Okay.
But like the thing I think we need to the place we need to start with is, if you are neurodivergent, one of the most important things you can do is find yourself a community, find yourself a tribe. And that is where having a TikTok following, having a Twitter following, having Instagram or YouTube following, find your tribe, find your people that are experiencing similar things, that have been through what you are facing, what you have faced, because having that support group is an immense step forward in trying to express yourself outward.
Definitely. As somebody who spent most of their life feeling like they were the lone weirdo, because I am almost 40 years old. I'm 37. I know I don't look it. Everyone argues, but I'm 37, and I spent most of my life thinking I was just some weirdo who wasn't trying as hard as anyone else. I was diagnosed in November of last year with autism, and I was diagnosed because a close personal friend of mine came to me and said, "Hey, I've known you since you were 6. My child acts exactly like you did, and they're autistic, so you might want to check into that." And also, she's a psychiatric nurse, which doesn't hurt. But as far as video platforms go, the thing that I've found, honestly, the thing we're most afraid of, as Mallory Cooper was talking about in her talk today, is being ourselves, because we think nobody will like us, because historically we've struggled with that. But the reality is, being myself on camera has gotten me clients. It has gotten me friends. It has brought, my TikTok channel is part of how people found this conference. It's a large percentage of how people found this conference, because I am a weird little gremlin on TikTok. I spend most of my TikToks wrapped in this teal robe that I have no problems showing to the world. Like, it's this fuzzy teal robe. And I do my TikToks in a really informal way. Like, I'm not Instagram perfect. I don't do makeup. I'm oftentimes dressed exactly like I am now. You can't see it, but that's on purpose, but I have PJ pants on, I've got a fuzzy blanket on my lap, and I'm not subjecting everybody to the teal bathrobe right now, but it is back here lurking, I promise.
And what I would say is that, we all do operate differently. Like how, Ellis, you said you are authentic on the camera. And, I try to be authentic in what I'm talking about, but I feel like I have to put makeup on. That's my game face. It's like my shield to be like, okay, now I'm ready to face the camera. So there's definitely different approaches to it, what makes you comfortable.
Absolutely. I wasn't trying to suggest that people who wear makeup are not authentic. Wearing makeup does not make someone inauthentic.
No, this is my coping mechanism.
Yep, that is a good coping mechanism.
It is.
And I think we're all different. So I think you have to find what works for you and how you connect with your audience.
And sometimes part of that is accepting that finishing a task is better than it being perfect.
Yes.
I know that's something I definitely struggle with. I get wrapped up in that mode of, no, it's not perfect. No, it's not perfect. And kind of echoing what you said earlier.
Yes.
You can polish it until it's beyond polished. Is it still enough? But are you trading out your authenticity in part for that?
Not just that. And finished is better than perfect.
Yeah.
I would rather passionate imperfection than perfect blandness.
Agreed. So as far as TikTok goes, there are a couple of things that I want to mention that are common misconceptions about TikTok. One of the things is that you can only follow people who you want to see your videos. That's not really germane. I follow a bunch of weird people on TikTok. Like, I follow dancers and musicians and comedy artists. I follow a bunch of authors too. But it seems TikTok's algorithm isn't interested in who you're following. It shows your content to people who it thinks will like it based on hashtags and keywords in the closed captioning and keywords in the text on screen, and people who also like that sound. So it actually doesn't matter who you're following on there so much. I want to bring that up because that is a specific TikTok thing that I've seen around that doesn't apply so much to YouTube. I'm on YouTube, but I'm not a YouTuber like these fine people to that direction. So it is since we're talking about video, there's a lot of bad advice floating around about how to use your platform, how to get more followers, and so on. There's so much advice out there of varying qualities. So I would be careful what advice you listen to and who you think is an expert, simply because what works for one person might not work for somebody else, and there's a lot of really awful advice going around. Also, some of it doesn't apply to authors at all.
Yeah. Well, and one of the things on all the platforms, and this is all social media, is the advice you get is like a spice rack. If you're making chicken, you can't just spin the spice rack and grab whatever is at the top of, comes out first. Because while paprika and cinnamon look the same in the bottle, you really don't want to make cinnamon chicken. There's no coming back from that. You can't fix it.
Is this experience talking, Mama Maggie? Just saying.
I did that once with chili. I used cinnamon instead of cumin. It was a disaster.
I did it with cookies. I used sugar or salt instead of sugar.
Oh.
Yeah. So the thing is when you're going onto these media platforms, when you're putting yourself out in the world, is you need to be able to put you don't try to be the next Jenna Moresi. You can't be her. She's Jenna, you're not.
Yeah.
And just be you, be who you are. And sometimes you will get some pushback. Mm-hmm. I have gotten pushback because it's like, I've been told, it's obvious you have brain damage from your stroke. It's obviously you're an older person. You shouldn't be on here. You should give up writing because there's no point. And it's like, if you let those people into your mindset, they become part of the part of the imposter syndrome that will always tell you repeatedly, you're not good enough. You can't do this. No, you can do this. You will do this. There is someone out there in the world waiting to hear your story, waiting to see your content. We do not live in a bubble of where there is no one else in the world like me. No, there is. There is. And they are waiting for you to speak. Now, that said, we have people that we all know on YouTube. This is all you see of them.
That's what I was going to say.
Yep.
You don't have
and they'll do 2 and 3 hour streams.
Yep.
Just a voice and a timer and their avatar.
Yep, there are TikTok people who do the same thing.
And that's one thing I was going to mention is that there are so many workarounds if you do have an issue where it's like somebody was saying earlier, just don't like how you look on camera, or you have what does Charlie have? I forget. Body dysmorphia.
Yes.
I'm probably saying that wrong.
No, body dysmorphia is correct.
Okay. And some people just, it's not going to work for them. So there are workarounds for those who don't know that.
Robin brings up, I feel like I have the opposite problem of why on earth would anyone want to listen to me?
Exactly what I felt when I first went on YouTube.
Yes.
That's what some of us are still thinking on the daily every time they put a video out. Keep that in mind.
But you can create a community. I mean, there's already a community on YouTube that's called AuthorTube. It's made up of authors, writers, publishers all across the board. And you don't have to be traditional. You don't have to be indie. You write, you come, you can be part of the community. You don't.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you don't have to have a book out there.
No. Yeah.
You can be on the first page of your first whip ever at 80 years old. And you will find a community that's like, join us.
Yep.
And
Join us.
Also, if you're afraid of showing everything on camera, decide what your branding looks like. And I know branding is a scary word for a lot of people. It's kind of an imposing word. But the reality is your brand as an author, as a writer, as an editor, is what pieces of yourself you would like to share with everybody. So that's entirely curated and up to you. You don't have to show everybody everything. Like, nobody needs to see every weird little quirk I have. But I show off, like, I talk about my disability. I talk about my neurodivergence. I talk about the fact that I'm a historian and a fencer and that I like video games and all this other stuff like that. I choose and curate as part of my brand so that as people get to know me, I can choose what to give and what to hold back. And that is an option that you have on all of your social media. And it isn't any different on video. So what of yourself you choose to share with people is a thing. Nikki, is there a concern that TikTok will be eventually removed in the US? Maybe. It's possible, but that's why I have a newsletter and a website. So if TikTok does get removed, if YouTube implodes and never is seen again, people can still find me on my newsletter and on my website. That's one of the reasons why I push that newsletter and let people know that I have it, because if they're subscribed, even if TikTok does vanish and go belly up or whatever, they'll still be able to find me and still know how to get a hold of me, and those people will be able to find my stuff. So it's like that with any social media platform. Like, I wouldn't fully rely on any specific platform, but using the platform while it's available is a good plan.
And I would say that there are small things that can unite you with other people on these platforms. Like I know, for instance, on YouTube, many of us are animal mamas and daddies. You know, we have cats, we have dogs, and this is just becomes part of us and our brand right there on screen with others, and we all share that. You know,
and there's like, if you're concerned, there are the disabled author tubers. We actually have a tag, and once a year we put out a thing about what's it like to be a disabled author tuber. There is an LGBTQA tag that goes around once a year. We all put out a little video about our experiences. Me as a mom ally, my experience is different from people who are LGBTQA, but still, as a mom who fought for her children, you know, my experience is still valid in the community. So you are not alone out there, you know, no matter what you think is, oh, no one's going to, you know, no, we have such a diverse community. And yes, unfortunately, as in all communities, there are trolls. There are elitists who are like, well, if you don't have a college, university, literary degree, you shouldn't even be trying to be a writer. No. There are people out here who will help you. We will help you figure out what you need to make your writing the best writing. And it's difficult when, you know, the gatekeepers show up, but it's just another form of exclusion. And there is a community out there who will stand up and say,
Yeah.
Just because your family had the money to send you to a $100,000 a year school does not mean that this person who is also writing is any less valid than you.
Like, I have an expensive degree. It's not in literature, it's in history, but I have an expensive degree, and most of what I have learned about writing, publishing, and editing has come through years being in the industry. It didn't come from my degree. My degree is useful and great and all, but it isn't the thing that defines me as a writer. What defines me as a writer is the time, effort, and energy I've put into learning how to write well. And that's it.
See, I have an anthropology degree.
Yeah.
And went to school to be a pharmacological nurse, pharmacology research. And I went from working in the pharmacy to working in a post office because it was less stress.
Yep.
And then I had my stroke, and you know, I don't use my degree, my training certificates, my degrees, anything, my licenses. I don't use them for anything anymore because now I'm disabled and now I'm a writer. So literally, and I started from ground zero because after my stroke, I only had a few thousand words left. You don't realize how many words you use in a day until you're sitting there trying to figure out how to say sleeping bag, and you literally cannot make that word come out of your mouth or come out of your fingertips. And so if you worry about your ability to communicate, there are workarounds that many people can share with you. We can help you find your tribe. And all you have to do is step out there, and if you only appear in the comment section, if you only appear as an avatar, that is fine too. You are still part of our community. And we're not going to judge you. We're not going to mock you. And that is the most important thing to find. We have an author in our community, Doll Cecil Runo, who is a speculative fiction writer. She is partially sighted, and she has like very much got all of us aware that when we're streaming and we share comments onto the screen, that as a courtesy to the less sighted people, we will say who said the comment and read the comment aloud as a way to share that with her.
One thing I do want to note, since we're talking about people who hate cameras, there are a couple things you should know about cameras that might affect how you see yourself. First off, lighting is extremely important. If you are lighting yourself like really badly, like this is actually pretty decent lighting. I don't have it all the way up to be the best lighting it could be because I'm photosensitive, but really poor lighting will make you look worse than you are. A low camera angle will not help. If you have a low camera angle, it will make you look like you are all chin and nothing else. There are certain things you can do. I could probably put together a lecture on that myself, on how to change your appearance on camera. You can also show yourself to a certain point, like if you feel really uncomfortable with your body. So just show yourself as a head if you would like to. That is doable. You can also learn how to use green screen editing and such tricks. Like I have a green screen. It's not up right now, but I do have one. And you can learn how to edit things. And there are so many options for not making yourself look in a way that makes you uncomfortable. I choose to not use filters of any kind because I think most of them make me look like I'm in drag, which is fun, but not me. And it's not my thing. But some people use really heavy filters to make themselves look like they wish they did or feel comfortable on camera. There are people who use avatars like the VTubers that are just a cartoon character. So the video element of the video platform, it doesn't need to be just you on a screen. And if it is, there are a lot of techniques you can look up. How to light yourself well and how to make yourself look as good as you can on camera that don't necessarily involve makeup. If you want to do makeup, I support makeup artistry. I can't. I don't. So I look like it's horrendous. I look like I belong on the Drew Carey show. It's atrocious. So that is, but some people look amazing in it. Like Shannon looks amazing. And so that's one of the things that you can do is you can wear makeup or not. You can light yourself differently. You can use green screens. You can use, I know people who you just see their hands. Like there's some mappers I follow who all you see is their hands and they talk into the microphone while they draw or do voiceover. And you could do like a walk outside and have your camera for your phone or whatever, just pointing out at the landscape while you talk. That's fine too. You don't need to yourself be on camera. There's also the option of using things like Canva to create videos that you can use. Like I have TikTok videos, like quotes videos and stuff for my books that I make in that. I'm not on there. It's not me. And so those are all options that you have available to you to engage with if you're not comfortable being on camera or feel self-conscious or it freaks you out. I just wanted to throw those out there since we've got some great information, but I wanted to add some technical stuff.
And I would say nobody likes the sound of their voice, so don't feel awkward.
Yeah, no, it's part of it is audio editing will help a lot because you sound completely flat in a microphone, where in your head you hear the resonance of your voice through your skull, which is why you hate the sound of yourself in a microphone. You can actually fix that in audio editing. I know how to do it.
The other thing is if you are using a program like Restream.io or StreamYard, like I curate a background because I'm in a closet. This is my recording work area. So I curate a background, but you can use programs to have a set background, have a created background, use a background blur. If you're not comfortable with someone seeing the inside of your house, there are workarounds around this.
There are definitely ways to make that more comfortable and easier for you. Like I said, green screen work. It is becomes so much easier than it used to be. I work in DaVinci. What's it called? I work in a program called DaVinci. I use Resolve.
It's amazing.
And I use the free version. I don't pay for it. The paid version is $300, and I'm sure it's worth it, but I'm broke. And DaVinci is amazing, and I can do green screen work like me. Rando here can do green screen work, and it's no effort at all. So that is something to do.
I use Hit Film Express, which is also free. Not as many bells and whistles as DaVinci Resolve, but DaVinci Resolve requires a high processing power on the computer.
It does.
So if you don't have that, Hit Film Express is really good.
Excellent. Yeah. Thank you. Also, if you are posting on TikTok, there's CapCut, which is a piece of software that TikTok itself has created. You can do video editing in it, and there's a whole bunch of things you can do in CapCut that you can't do in TikTok. So that is again, it's free, but that is a phone. You can get a version on your computer, but it's not excellent. Kind of like TikTok is sort of on your computer. CapCut's the same way, but it is available for that platform.
And YouTube Studio is now offering different levels of editing. It's a little clunky to use, but if you don't have access to a lot of stuff, you can go into the YouTube Studio Editor, and you can actually clip videos, clip out parts of videos, alter or cut the sound in videos. And so there are, if you're like, oh, I can't do video editing. Oh, I can't. No, there are workarounds around this, and it's not as complicated as you might think.
Yeah.
Sometimes with the video editing, it's just a matter of beating your own patience to want to rush through it. At least for me, sometimes, I want to get this out. I want to get this out. I want it to be done and over with.
Yep.
So if you're kind of feeling like it's just another thing that takes me time, you need to stop and ask yourself, is the time investment worth it?
Mm-hmm.
If it is, okay, time to buckle down and do what you feel you need to do.
Yep.
E, I had a question for you. Was there a tool that you can use to edit TikTok videos to remove the TikTok stamping and post it to other shorts and reels? There's an app for that.
So CapCut does. There used to be. There used to be a way you could download from TikTok without the logo, but if you record through CapCut, it won't apply the TikTok logo on there. So then if you make your content in CapCut, you can then repurpose it without the logo. If you make it in TikTok natively, it'll always have the logo, which Instagram and some other things are like, oh, we don't want to elevate that. And they get sticky about it. But if you do it in CapCut, you can download it without any kind of branding on it, and then you can share it to TikTok, which is one of the reasons CapCut is so popular.
So another thing that we do on YouTube, which I don't think that they do on TikTok, is lives. So
you can do TikTok. You can do lives on TikTok.
You can do lives on TikTok.
Yeah.
Okay, I was asking someone earlier, and I didn't get a straight answer, so I wasn't really sure since I'm not on TikTok.
You need 1,000 followers to do a live.
And then, are you guys limited by how much time?
Nope.
You can do a live for? Okay, that's cool.
But you are limited. You have to have 1,000 followers in order to be able to have a live at all.
I think on YouTube there is a number as well, but I think it's 50 followers. I think it's all it is.
50 or 100. It's one of the first milestones. It's not one of the big ones, I think.
And you can, that way, if you're worried about editing a video, you don't have the time for that, you could do lives. And we do a ton on YouTube. We do a ton of writing sprints. Mm-hmm. It is a great way just to integrate the community where you don't even need a YouTube channel. You can just be part of the community. And so I highly suggest it to anybody who's a writer out there. And writing sprints tend to help a lot of people. It's not for everyone. Not everyone works well with sprints, but it does help some.
Mm-hmm.
And for some of us, we offer workshops or just general, let's get together and chit chat, coffee chat style things
just talk
on various topics. So it's not always just about writing and craft. Sometimes it's about the therapy that can go hand in hand with writing.
And right now, a lot of author tubers are also moving on to Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have, like, some people have issues with YouTube and some of their policies, you can go and on Twitch and watch the exact same stream at the exact same time. Mm-hmm. And if you want to stream on both platforms, you can do that through Restream or through StreamYard. You can actually multi-stream to multiple platforms. And both of those streaming apps give you the ability to do 20 hours a month for free. So you don't have to make an investment. And then if you want to move up to, say, have more than 4 or 5 guests, or to do more than 20 hours a month of streaming, then you can go up to the paid tier levels. But you can start your YouTube channel for free. You can start using these streaming softwares for free. So that you can see if it's something that you want to engage in, or if you just want to remain in the chats and going from place to place. Because we've had people who started channels and then decided having a channel wasn't for them.
Mm-hmm. So we have someone in the chat who's saying this is all overwhelming. They don't even know half of what we're talking about. I don't know if this is the general, if everyone feels this way.
I can see it.
If we need to back up a little bit.
Okay, so there are various different platforms and programs that will let you stream data to streaming services, and doing a live or streamed thing means that as it's happening here, kind of like this conference, it is happening on the screen. There are multiple different pieces of software. OBS is the old reliable. It's Open Broadcaster Software, OBS. It's free. It costs nothing. StreamYard, I think, is an add-on to OBS. I think it's It may have
Use
its
them together or independent.
Okay.
Use it independently.
It's another piece of software that will let you live stream things and has various different elements to it. Streaming can be really overwhelming and really complicated, or it can be really easy. For example, live streaming on TikTok, you set up your camera, you tell it you want to go live, boom, you're live, and then you have whatever conversations, see comments, etc. You can have, I did live streaming of a Dungeons and Dragons campaign for a while, and so it can be as complicated or as simple as you make it. There's a lot of software out there, but if you're looking to just do video for YouTube and don't know what software to start in, I would start using OBS to capture your video. And so what that does is you tell it to record from your camera, record from your microphone, it stores the video, and then you can either edit the video or you can just upload it raw, which is okay. Video editing is an entire special interest in and of itself. The only thing I really suggest people really get into in editing is learning how to cut out the beginning and end if you have blank space, or cut out pieces. There are a lot of YouTube videos on how to do that simply in various different products and different levels of engagement. And it is a big topic, but the quick and dirty, if you're looking for quick and dirty, I would just record in OBS. And
I would say StreamYard is easier. Because OBS, you have to
StreamYard is very easy. You just log in, link it to your YouTube or Twitch, and hit go live, and
or you can record in StreamYard too. You don't have to go live.
Yes.
Okay. If StreamYard is easier, I've never used it, so I can't speak for it.
With the paid, yes.
I use both OBS and StreamYard. StreamYard is more user-friendly.
Okay.
It is, but you also have to know, for those of us who have lived in rural situations, what your internet capabilities are.
Yeah, StreamYard, if StreamYard is virtual,
it takes a ton of resources.
Okay.
So you need to know your tech, and you need to know what your local internet will allow you to do.
Right, where OBS is all located on your computer.
Yeah, true.
And that is it's a program you download to your computer and use to record. StreamYard apparently is done online.
Browser-based,
yeah.
Browser-based, yes.
So it may be easier, but it may be less stable for some people. I don't have I could probably put together an information packet on it, and I think a lot of us probably could.
I was going to say YouTube. YouTube has tons of videos on OBS, StreamYard, all how-tos. Very easy to find.
There are a lot of how-tos on YouTube. You can just type in what you're looking for and find about 1 billion of them. If it's overwhelming, look for a how-to for StreamYard or look for a how-to for OBS. You could also put up, how do I start a YouTube channel? I know Heather has one. She shared a link in the chat, but how to start a YouTube channel, how to start a TikTok channel, they will walk you through all the tech with screenshots and stuff better than I can, because usually those are run by actual techies. I am not one of those.
And Canva, StreamYard, OBS, and a couple other of those third-party streaming services we mentioned all actually have their own YouTube channels with how-to videos for free.
Yeah, they do.
So you don't even need to go to some random YouTuber giving you a third party of a third party.
Correct.
Kind of deal.
yeah.
And I would say probably true for most of us. If you have any questions, we're all on YouTube. Ellis, are you YouTube?
Yep, I'm on YouTube.
Mm-hmm. Okay, you could come to any of us and ask us any questions if you want to get on.
And if you have questions about TikTok or what have you, please talk to me. There's also a group on YouTube, oh my gosh, on Facebook called TikTok for Authors. You can join that group, though some of the advice I mentioned flying around there's kind of iffy.
I've not heard that yet.
You have to, only follow certain people or whatever. There's a lot of misnomers, and there's some kind of poor quality advice. So caveat emptor, but there is advice and help available if you need to learn how to upload or whatever, or find it overwhelming. TikTok for Authors is the name of the group. It's recommended by 20 Books, and they send people there all the time, and I hang out there a lot. So. Or you can just ask me. I'm around the conference. After the conference, I've got email, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, everything.
And don't forget YouTube. You can just come hang out in the community. Just get in touch with any of us. We're all in AuthorTube. We can just say, hey, come to this chat here and just hang out in the chat with us.
Yep,
exactly.
Okay, we have 5 more minutes left.
5 more minutes left. I think we have covered everything we really wanted to cover, I think.
Are there any questions? Sorry, Maggie.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, I was just going to say, it's all about finding your tribe and finding your support. And that is the real thing. Now, you know, like on any platform, there are toxic little corners of AuthorTube. And just walk away from the drama llamas.
Yeah. If somebody's being pedantic and annoying in your comments, you don't have to respond to them.
Right. Right.
Block exists for a reason on multiple platforms. Keep that in mind. Yeah.
And blocking somebody shouldn't hurt your ability to like grow a community. Don't be afraid to block somebody.
And you don't have to take abuse from anyone.
No. We got a question in the chat. Would you recommend TikTok or YouTube if you want to focus on one?
Okay. Would you recommend TikTok or YouTube if you only want to focus on one? Think about where it depends on what you want to do. If you want to get into AuthorTube and to connect with authors, that's a great way to do it. If you're looking for readers, TikTok right now is on fire. Yeah. So you're going to want to decide where your target market hangs out, because certain target markets also hang out on certain platforms. If you're looking for people who are like 30 and younger, if that's your target market, TikTok is it. If you are looking for older folks and longer form video, YouTube is probably going to be king. Then there's Instagram, where reels are an important element. That could be done. Instagram is mostly women and romance as far as books go, from what I understand, though fantasy is not small on there. Facebook is, you've got the Facebook, what are they called? The videos anyway. You've got Facebook videos which frequently reach the older audience, because Facebook is mostly like 35 and up. Most of the younger kids don't use it. TikTok also Twitter also supports video. So you're going to want to figure out where your target market hangs out, which I know isn't the cut and dry answer I'm sure you were asking for, but it's a different answer for every single author in every single situation.
Market research, unfortunately, applies.
It does. Yeah. Robin has asked, should you have a goal in mind if you're doing video, and how do you articulate that?
I think that depends on the platform too.
It depends on the platform and the type of video that you're doing. If you're doing like a productivity stream or writing stream or reading stream or crafting stream, those are more freeform. But if you are doing like a TED Talk type thing where you're talking about this certain type of editing form, this certain type of creativity form. Last year, I did 2 different videos on using D&D dice and D&D tarot cards to create characters. Mm-hmm. And that is when a lot of us will talk about we're scripting a video, and we'll have like scripts for those kind of videos. But for most of us, or like with Shannon's interviews that she does, she'll have a script and we'll try to follow those. But we also have like freeform content. You'll see things, we'll do what are called pop-ups. And it's just like, I need some creativity support to like get me through this hump that I'm going through. And all of you are going to join me. And we'll just like,
have a ton of do productive things. Yep. Yeah. Let's all create together.
Nikki, you're asking about editors who want exposure to authors. I have found TikTok to be the place that I have gotten the most of that. There are a bunch of editors on TikTok. Megan Harris, who did a talk here, she and I met on TikTok. I've gotten clients through TikTok. YouTube, I have not gotten clients from, but I use my YouTube for long form how-tos and conversational videos, whereas my TikTok is quick, just unscripted, unplanned things where it's like, I saw a comment on this thing that ticked me off, and here's a subject I want to rant about for 3 minutes. TikTok, you can upload 10-minute videos, but generally speaking, TikTok's videos are best served in like 7 seconds, 14 seconds, or like you can do up to 3 minutes. And if you really want to get in depth on something, you can do 3 minutes. A lot of my videos are 3 minutes because I have opinions on things. But it's kind of like YouTube is a separate beastie. And if you're looking for clients, I have found TikTok to be a better place for that, personally.
And I was going to say, when it comes to what goal in mind for videos on YouTube, you don't have to have one goal. You can use YouTube in multiple ways. Shorts, you have shorts, you have less than a minute, you have long form. Yeah, you have everything there.
For sure. let's see. Oh, yes. We wanted to mention specific YouTubers we have. But we can just, well, vomit out some names. Sarah Cannon. Anybody else? Somebody mentioned Cecil Runo, which is who is a disabled author. Let's spit out some names. I have Shannon, Maggie, Ellis,
Tamara
here.
Woods.
Tamara Woods.
Why don't we put them in the chat so people can read them and see how they're spelled so they can look them up?
Oh, yeah.
That might be a good idea.
Well, I'll drop the AuthorTube writing conference link again on our speaker page. We have some great speakers from AuthorTube who are great to follow.
Yes.
We also are very fortunate to have a group of people that have curated basically an AuthorTuber list. It's an AuthorTube tiny URL, so I'm going to put it in there. There are several hundred AuthorTubers on this list.
That's a good point. Thank you for that.
And there are tabs at the bottom. You'll see at the bottom of the list, there are tabs with dates. If you click on those dates, you will see what writing streams are going on at the different times of day in several different time zones. So you can pull up the AuthorTube writing playlist through the short URL and actually scroll through the list, find all of the AuthorTubers and just look through their channels. What do you want to follow? And if you can see the list of what writing streams and productivity streams are going on at any given time, day or night. Devin Cutting was the first person to curate this list, and Devin had a channel that actually where he curated playlist, but then some of the trolls decided that they didn't like that he wasn't giving them priority, and they got Devin banned from YouTube. And it was a 6-month struggle before YouTube finally told us all to bugger off. And so then he and Cat Leo and Glory Writes the Blues created this AuthorTuber list, and they actually update it several times a week. So almost all of the current streams at any given time, other than the pop-up streams, will be on the daily tabs.
Okay.
So if you are just looking to start glancing around AuthorTube to find your tribe, this is the best place that we can encourage you to start at.
For what it's worth, not to critique you in any way, I usually prefer Find Your Community because Find Your Tribe has specific meanings to specific cultures, so I try to avoid use the word
culture.
tribe. Oh, that's right. You're right. I'm sorry. I apologize. I forgot. You are yes, I'm so sorry. In general, people who look like me who are not Native American or not Native or cultural should probably not use that phrase. I am sorry, Maggie. I forgot that is your culture.
That's fine.
I'm just trying to be sensitive to other folks and make sure that other people aren't accidentally using words that they should probably not be using. But you are obviously permitted to use your cultural words however you like. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to tone police you.
Oh, it's fine.
I mean, it's not, but I appreciate your grace.
Yeah. Well, you have to understand, I grew up in a generation where it was still okay to call me squaw to my face.
I refuse to be part of that.
And so I am from the late 70s and early 80s, so I find that as part of a Generation Xer, I tend to have a much thicker skin to every kind of disparaging thing, and that's just my generation.
Yeah. And that's totally fair. I do my best to err on the side of respect at all times if I can, and if I screw up, I apologize. So, all right. So I think that's about the end of the panel. It's 4:15.
No, definitely. If you want to dip your toes into AuthorTube, if you want to see what we're about, follow the tiny URL. Hit some streams. We always tend to be very welcoming. This is Sunday afternoon, so there are streams going on right now, and there will be, I think, streams going on until 9 o'clock Eastern, I think is when the last stream for today starts.
And some days they go all the way to midnight.
Somewhere around there.
And then the European streams start at 1 o'clock in the morning Eastern time, is when the afternoon Europe streams start. So there are streams literally all around the clock. tomorrow morning, I believe the streams will be starting at 7 o'clock in the morning Eastern time for the Monday streams. And like 7 days a week, almost 24 hours a day, there are productivity streams, writer streams, reading streams too. A lot of reader streams going on where literally people just sit around and they'll read for 30 minutes and then they'll chat for like 10 or 15 minutes and then they'll read for 30 more minutes. And it's about not feeling alone in your journey. And that's, I think, the biggest push for AuthorTube is that you're not alone in your writing journey, in your editing journey, in your publishing journey.
Yes.
Yes,
And
absolutely true.
It's such a help for so many of us because of that. Because, you know, again, with writing groups, a lot of us don't have time to drive around all the different writing groups, right?
That's true. All right, so we should probably wrap it up here because the panel ended at 4:15, technically. And I want to give everyone a chance to chat before closing the ceremonies at 4:45.
Okay. Thank you for putting all this together. It was an amazing thing. You're not getting enough claps for this, but it was an amazing job. You
So
and
we
Jason,
all have to throw confetti again at two various people, including Alice, Leslie,
Thank you.
Alice's hubby.
Thank you very much. And yes,
Jason, throw confetti on him.
yes,
too.
if you find my husband in his pretty dress, throw confetti at him. Thank you, everybody.